It's the 8 for 52 podcast.
G'day, this is Botters.
G'day, Buschy here.
This is episode 31 of the 8 for 52 podcast.
Botters,
Buschy.
Welcome back, my friend.
Thank you very much. It's an absolute delight to be back here at the Kowloon Cricket Club recording episode 31.
Yeah, get to see you in person for first time for a while.
Don't have to worry about all that technology issues going over Zoom and in my little room in the UK where I was.
Yeah, except for that's exactly what we'll be doing next week.
Yeah, I'm going away again. Going Australia this time though, Buschy.
Well,
better time zone, friendlier time zone.
This is true.
Yeah. All right, everyone out there, DM us as you can, always on Instagram or on email. Don't worry about email, as I always say.
Anything on the IGs this week?
Yeah, there was actually. There was someone trying to help at the same time kick me in the guts, Buschy.
Oh, go on.
Well, I missed the Sunday Elite T20 kickoff last week.
Yeah, you've had a couple of shockers because you missed those Sunday Div 1 games that were on at Easter as well. Who, can we name names? Who kicked you in the guts?
Todd Lingram.
Oh, of course it is.
Yeah, Todd Lingram.
He's on it.
Straight on it.
Yeah.
He actually gave me a bit of a scoop as well about who wasn't playing in their team. But it didn't matter. It was washed out anyway. We'll cover that later on. Outs and ins, that's where we'll cover that. Plenty of rain.
Oh, yeah, that's what we'll be covering.
Yeah.
How many millimetres of rain swamped Hong Kong on Sunday?
Many. I was down here jet lag trying to help you out with comms. It didn't last long. I went back home to bed. Sunday Div 1 grand final washed out. We'll cover that for what it's worth. And the Sunday Elite T20, Todd Lingram kicked me in the guts, but it didn't matter because they didn't play anyway. But Saturday Cup, there was plenty of games on Saturday.
There was.
We'll cover all that.
Yep.
Ins and outs, men's and women's Premier League back for their final rounds before the grand final, Buschy.
Yeah, it's going to be huge. Tune in for ins and outs for the Premier League. We got lots of juicy permutations on who can make the finals. We know KCC and the men's is going through, but the rest, you could flip a coin. It's going to be exciting. We're going to cover all that.
It is going to be fantastic. Sunday Elite T20, Todd Lingram. It continues this weekend, or gets underway, so to speak, given it was all washed out last week. And Saturday Cup, it wraps up the prelim rounds. We'll cover that. All-Stars coming up, Buschy, isn't there? When's that?
The All-Stars are coming up, I've been told tentatively, off the record, that perhaps sort of mid-May.
Okay.
The second to third weeks of May, there's going to be men's and women's All-Stars. So stick around. I'll give you an update when that's confirmed.
Well, hopefully it's after May 13, because that's when I get back from Australia.
Well, it's not.
Cricket Hong Kong, you're going to work around Botters, please?
No. You're going to miss a couple of games there.
As always, it's not about Botters, it's about the cricket, and we're looking forward to the All-Stars coming up. That's men's and women's, not the age group ones anymore. This is top of the tree, yeah?
Top of the pops.
Absolutely fantastic. Speaking of top of the pops, Sky Plaza Road. Wow. Not going to cover it in detail here, Buschy, but what a tournament that was.
Oh, like I said, no fingernails left.
From zero to hero to not quite zero to not a bad outcome in the end, not the best outcome. But anyway, we'll cover that in Sky Plaza Road. This is the 8 for 52 podcast with Botters and Buschy.
Giddy up.
It's time for Outs and Ends, a full wrap of senior cricket games in Hong Kong from last weekend. Here's Botters.
All right, outs and ends. We'll kick it off with Sunday Division 1. The huge grand final that we're all looking forward to. The KCC Templars top of the table versus the HKCC Scorpions. What a disappointment.
Well, can't do anything about the rain. It was just very, very wet. We got 7.1 overs in. Templars won the toss, elected to bowl. And bowl well they did. They had, I think, the Scorpions 25 for 2 when we finally got washed out.
Couple of wickets.
And we'll talk about top of the table Templars, but they're only top of the table by percentage on net run rate, right?
Yep.
Because there were 3 teams that finished on 15 points. Should mention the Templars had 3 abandoned, washed out games, whereas the Scorpions only had 1. So it was a little unfair on the Templars. But in the end, the rules are that is the end of Sunday Elite Division 1. The winner, KCC Templars, are the champions.
They are indeed, absolutely. And I want to congratulate all these players on the leaderboard at the end of the season. On the batting side, Nazakat Khan, 415 runs at an average of 138. That can't be beaten on the average side. Oh, yes, it can. Azaz Khan finished second on total runs, 383, but at an average of 191.5. And Jamie Atkinson, 296 at 74. Congratulations to those 3 players.
Yep, well done, Nazagat, Azaz and Jamie. Now on to the controversial bowling leaderboard.
Yeah, well, we're hoping it's not controversial, but Crick HQ currently has Paris Benny Singh at 15 at an average of 28.6, 15 wickets. It's got Jay Davidson at 14 wickets at an average of 9.93. I believe that to be totally incorrect.
Yes.
The Templars game is not resulted, and at the moment it's showing none for none and abandoned for both teams. That should be no result.
Yes, correct.
And the statistics for the players should count.
Correct.
When that is rectified, not if, when that's rectified, Jay Davidson will go to 15 wickets, equal with Paris Benny Singh, but a far superior average at 10.1.
Yep.
Superb season.
We both agree on this, and it needs to be rectified because it has implications for the coming up Cricket Hong Kong Awards, right?
Absolutely. You know, with all due respect to Paris Benny Singh, he's had a great season. He's finished on equal wickets, but his average is higher. So if there is a bowling award, it needs to go to Jay Davidson. Imran Arif, another good season, 14 wickets at an average of 18.86. Sunday Elite T20 Cup, well, it was scheduled to get underway unbeknownst to me. Well, it didn't get underway. It was all washed out. Vagabonds, Optimists, LSW Wanderers.
You're just very clever and keep the podcast as concise as possible, and you left it out because you knew it was going to be washed out.
I knew it wasn't happening. Exactly. Now, there's 4 pools in this Elite T20 Cup, and it finishes on May 26. At this point, I have no idea when the finals are because it's not shown on Cricket HQ.
I've been told by a little birdie that the finals are going to end up in June.
Oh, that'll be pleasant.
Yeah, nice and steamy. And with 4 pools, that means at least 2 finals, right? You've got to have the semi-finals to the top of each of the pools. And then the next week, have the Grandie. So they're going to be 2 weeks into June by the time this Sunday Elite T20 Cup is over.
Well, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but we've had week 1 washed out, and I'm tipping that's not going to be the last one washed out either. So there might be not a lot of cricket in that tournament as we go through. Saturday Cup. We did get some cricket in Saturday Cup. Up in Pool 1, the Nomads versus the URC Tigers, Buschy. Took them to the final over, but the Nomads ran down the 150 set by the Tigers, and that puts Nomads into the quarters.
Who did we tip? Because we all tipped the same last week.
Yeah, we did.
We're sure we had the Nomads,
perfectly aligned. We were perfectly aligned. We both did have the Nomads.
Okay,
absolutely.
Good.
Moving along to Pool 2.
Okay, we don't need to mention what we tipped on this.
This is unbelievable.
Oh, it was brilliant. I was watching it on the Cricket HQ. I was so happy.
Well, I know we haven't got the tip right, but I just think it's a fantastic outcome. Hung Si up against the India Club Yodders, and a massive win for Hung Si. 158 after 19 on DLS. They must have lost an over to rain. Yodders all out for 125. Unbelievable. And that pool is so tight. All 3 teams at the moment could finish on 2 points.
Well, it's going to finish off the final game, which we'll cover coming up, is going to be the Craig and Gower in-house derby.
That's right. Up at PKVR. It's going to be an awesome one. Pool 4, PACC Rising Stars versus Laguna Gully. Rising Stars go into the quarters. They were too good for Laguna. They've come back well at the back end.
No longer Falling Stars. In the T20 format, they are Rising Stars again, and we both picked the Rising Stars.
Yeah, and you think, well, they've hit some good form. You never know. They might go all the way. Pool 5, India Club Shiraz versus Kaitak, and the Kaitak thumped them. Another one. This pool's open. Everyone could finish on 2 points.
We did not pick Kaitak.
No, we didn't. Shiraz for both of us there as well. Pool 7, LSW leaders up against the Tartars. Tartars smashed them.
Just
took 11 overs to run down the total. But Lamar could still go through on net run rate with a win against the leaders. So it's quite open here. HKCC Witherers in Pool 8, they played the Centaurs, and it was all the Witherers. 56-run victory over the Centaurs, and the Witherers go into the quarters as well.
No, we did quite well with the tips. Yeah. Well, I mean, I tipped first, so you were just copying me, and I think we only dropped 1.
Well, we dropped 2.
Did we?
Yeah, Hung Si and Shiraz.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's better than my normal week.
Yeah, so this is the last week of the pool matches, and we'll cover them in ins and outs coming up this weekend. But I don't know when the finals are here either, as I can't find them on Cricket.
I'm assuming it's fairly similar.
Mid-June time.
Yep, late May. Because, I mean, of course,
hot and wet.
Mid-May, as we mentioned in the opener, there's going to be All-Stars taking up a couple of weekends.
Yeah,
so
at least 1 weekend, maybe 2. So, yeah. All right. Well, we don't know, but we'll keep you informed as soon as we do know. That's it for Outs and Ins.
It's time for Ins and Outs, with all the weekend senior games covered. Here's Butters.
All right, ins and outs, and bad news first. Buschy, I've looked at the weather report, and it doesn't look very good. We're taping this on Wednesday, and it looks like it's the best weather we're going to have for another 5 days, so I'm not sure how much cricket we can get in. I hope we get some.
We'll give it a go. At least it's all pretty much T20 format, so it's a lot easier to squeeze a game in when I talk in the 50-over format. Anyway, there's plenty of cricket if it gets on.
Well, there is. And we'll kick it off with the pinnacle. The Premier League is back, both men's and women's. On the men's side, LSW play PACC out at Mission Road, 1:30 Sunday afternoon. KCC versus HKCC here at KCC at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Buschy, both those games televised on Cricket Hong Kong YouTube. Yes,
I do believe so. I hope so. I'm
excellent. All right, well, they're going to be big games. We'll give it our tips in a minute, but before we do that, I just want to have a look at the table because it's been a while since Premier League's played. Are all the internationals going to be back? I think they will. I saw Bubba put a post on Facebook or
Flying back in, yeah.
Him sitting watching the
they should be
plane on the back of the seat, so there's no reason why they wouldn't be, I wouldn't have thought.
And I mean, that LSW pack game is massive in the context of the grand final. That's the big one this weekend. You can see, if you look at the table, they're both sitting third and fourth. They've got negative red run. One of these two teams has to smash the other team to leapfrog USRC, who have played out on 2 wins.
USRC will be just hoping for rain, right?
Yep.
Get LSW, PAC washed out, and it's up at the lake that is Mission Road at times, so there might be a fair chance of getting that, which would see USRC through to the grand final. Anyway, let's hope there is no rain. Who are you tipping, Buschy, LSW, PACC?
If we've got the Hong Kong China team back, Zishan Ali is in just some mad form, so I'm going to go with PACC to win this one.
Yeah, so am I. They'll get over the top of LSW there if they get on. In the other game, Kowloon Cricket Club versus Hong Kong Cricket Club.
Now, look, Hong Kong Cricket Club can still mathematically make the final as well. If they thump the undefeated KCC Premier side, not going to happen. They may win. They're not going to thump them by enough to get off their negative 1.21 net run rate and leapfrog 0.444 for USRC. So I've got KCC to win that one, and that is the game I will be calling for Cricket Hong Kong Broadcasting.
I'll be watching it from Sydney, and I'm tipping Hong Kong Cricket Club in that one.
Oh, that's a big call.
Yeah, I think with the players back, I'm assuming that most of them are going to get off the plane, aren't she? Nazaket and others.
Well, what about
Shukla,
Baba, Azaz, Atik?
Oh, I'm not saying that they're not going to be well strengthened as well.
Home ground advantage.
Yeah, I just think HKCC will get away with that one in the T20 format. On the women's side, Buschy.
Okay.
Got LSW versus Craig and Gower at Mission Road at 9:30 in the morning. KCC versus HKCC at KCC at 10 a.m. in the morning.
Now, we thought that the men's final round was big and lots to play for. This is crazy. It's like anything can happen, and 3 teams can make the final depending on how the games go. That morning game at Ting Kwong Road, Little Saiwan versus Craig and Gower. Craig and Gower top of the table, massive net run rate. And then KCC playing Hong Kong Cricket Club here at KCC, which I will broadcast. I am tipping top of the table Craig and Gower not to make the final.
Yeah, well, that's possible. I'm not ruling that out.
It's that, I think...
So you're tipping LSW to win?
I'm tipping LSW to win, and I'll tell you why. Kerry Chan is currently in Malaysia playing in the Malaysia Super League, so she's unavailable. Little Saiwan's got their full side as far as I'm aware, and that's an awesome bowling lineup and a good batting lineup.
Ikra Sahar, Miriam Bibi.
Yeah, Shanzine Shazad.
Defending champions.
Yeah, I think LSW are going to pump CCC here and move to 6 points. And Hong Kong Cricket Club sitting in second place, are they going to flog
they'll
KCC?
Win in cancer. Yeah.
I mean, HKCC need a huge net run rate boost to go top of the table and host the final. Yasmin Dazwani is currently playing for Essex.
Right, that's a long way from Kowloon Cricket Club.
A long way from KCC, so that's a massive hole in the middle of the batting order for KCC, and a very powerful HKCC are going to come down here knowing they need to thump them, and they will.
Yeah, they've only just got to win, really. I think their biggest problem, I mentioned it before, LSW's biggest problem is the rain. If both games are washed out, they're going to miss out on the grand final. It'll be Craig and Gower, Hong Kong Cricket Club.
We both tipped Craig and Gower to win, so I'm tipping against the team I picked to win the whole series.
Yeah.
But I think if the game gets underway, LSW are going to win that one.
All right, well, I'm tipping LSW and Hong Kong Cricket Club, same as you. That's a very interesting weekend. Let's just pray it doesn't rain. Sunday Elite T20 Cup, it's also on. There's only the one game, if I got this right. Quite possibly I haven't.
Wow.
Wanderers versus...
Todd will let you know.
Wanderers versus... Get in touch with me, Todd, if I've got this wrong. It's the Wanderers versus the Sri Lanka Lions. Goodness me. Hang on. So that's on the same time. So all the Wanderers Premier League players won't be playing in that.
It's on the same time as Premier League.
Yeah. It's still not going to help the Lions. Wanderers will win that.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. So let me write that down. Wand. Saturday Cup. We've got a smorgasbord of cricket in the Saturday Cup, Buschy, all over Hong Kong, out at Gin Drinkers Bay at 11:10 in the morning. Lama versus the leaders.
Were you saying earlier that Lama, if they win, are a chance to make the final?
Yeah, they can go past Tartars on net run rate because there was a washout.
I do love the Lama, so I'm going the Lama.
Yeah, I'm going the Lama as well. I'm not ruling out making the quarterfinals. Gap Ramblers versus India Club Shiraz.
And HKCC Gap Ramblers.
Yeah, easy. LSW Sky Warriors, Charlie Bears.
Oh, the Charlie Bears have done me in again, even when I tip against them. Look, I'll go the Charlie Bears just to put the jinx on them.
I'm going Charlie Bears as well in that one. USRC Lions versus the Crusaders.
Crusaders.
I'm going to go the Lions.
Oh, is that too much of an easy side to beat? Is it for the Crusaders?
Yeah, it's too easy.
They're not hard.
I'll tip them if they're playing Gap Ramblers.
Yeah, okay, fair.
They're not. They're playing the Lions. They'll get beaten there. Jin Sung versus Hung Si.
Oh,
you mentioned it earlier out of PKVR, the Craig and Gower in-house clash.
What a
for the
game.
ages.
It is huge now. Todd get angry if I tip the Hung Si. I want the Hung Si to win, but I really think Jin Sung's going to get
You
this
just
one.
don't know who Jin Sung are going to put out there, right?
The same with Hung Si. They're not always got their full fighting 11. I think Jin Sung's going to win this one. Hung Si played their final last week.
Yeah, I think they will as well, but it'll be that if Jin Sung win that means everyone will finish on 2.
Yeah.
Right? So then it'll be net run rate. So Hung Si is still a chance of making the quarters after smashing whoever they smashed last week, India Club, whoever. USRC Tigers versus LSW Thunder. This is out at GDB at the afternoon game, 2:20.
I'm going to go to the Tigers.
Yeah, I'm Tigers as well. Sorry, who did you tip in the last one? Did you tip Jin Sung? Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. I've got that down now. That is it. Absolutely. How many games there? 6 games of Saturday Cup in the final round of Saturday Cup before we move through to the quarters, which is sometime in 2026. Or really June this year, but it's a long way away anyway. That's the point. All right, that is it for this week. I think it is. Yep, ins and outs, we are done.
Yep. Remember, all the Premier League games that we mentioned will be broadcast on Cricket Hong Kong YouTube. Tune in.
I'll be tuning in.
4 games, 2 at Ting Kwong Road, 2 here at KCC. I'll be calling those 2. It'll be great.
Cannot wait. All right, the big bird, there she is. One of the happiest places in the world, Sky Plaza Road.
Yeah, the Hong Kong China team flying back in from the ACC Premier Cup, and Botter's flying in as well. Something of note.
Yeah, and flying out as well. But the Hong Kong cricket boys, well, they went across there to Oman. Did they come back happy or sad, Buschy?
Oh, I think you've got to be happy. That was some tough competition, and I mean, you know who should be sad?
Who?
The Nepal team.
Oh, look, without a doubt. But I would say they went over there with a goal of making the Asia Cup.
Yeah.
And they didn't make it.
No.
Right?
We're talking about Hong Kong China.
Yeah, we're talking about Hong Kong China, right?
Yeah, everyone went over there with a goal to make it, of course.
So I'm on the side of not happy.
Yeah.
Because didn't achieve the goal. But not sad either because the secondary goal was achieved, and that was Emerging Cup.
Yeah.
And to beat Nepal in that third place playoff.
I think the Asia Cup format is a bit ridiculous, really. You got 5 massive nations and then 1 team.
Yeah.
Why not have 2? Why not have the 3
go
agree.
in
and then have a competition with 8 teams, and you'd have more round robins, and it'd be more exciting and more big games for these emerging countries to play. It's just a bit ridiculous. It all comes down to one weekend and 1 team gets the benefit of it.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think the Asia Cricket Council, I'm rarely critical of them. They are, to my mind, of the councils around the world, the best, okay?
Yep.
They do a lot of fantastic things, invest in the game, not just at youth level, but at senior level as well. And there's a lot of cricket played and a lot of support for the Asia Cricket Council. So 99 times out of 100, I support what they do. They could really improve it by, exactly as you say, add another 2 teams to this Asia Cup, and I think it'd be absolutely superb. There's no reason why 3 teams from that couldn't have gone through.
Yep.
Anyway, it isn't to be, and it's at the Emerging Cup for us later in the year. We'll talk about that. We covered everything last week, Buschy, when I was in the UK, as far as that Malaysia and the game afterwards that got us through to the semi, and then we went up against Oman, and we just didn't get enough runs.
Yep, that's literally the problem. We needed to score 150 in the first innings, and we only got 130.
Yeah, it was disappointing. I mean, Bubba, he was there again. He'd had a great tournament. He got 33 this time. Zishan really gave the score some respectability with 36 off 25. He did well, but 130 never, ever looked like it was going to be enough. But then it was nearly enough.
It was very close. It went down to the last over.
Yeah, it really did. And, I mean, it was a great performance. You've got to give credit to our boys for taking it to the last over. But it was a sloppy display at the same time, but it was a hugely gutsy display to take it that close. And Archibilius, he's 62 off 51. If we had have got him out, it would have been a totally different game, I'd argue, but Oman did enough to win.
I felt one of the problems with that game is their spinners just slowed us down. We could not score off their spinners, and that's what kept the score down to 130. But we didn't have the spinning firepower. We only had Assad and Yassim. So I felt like if we had that third spinner in that game, we may have restricted them under 130.
Well, riddle me this, Batman, okay? I mean, Yassim bowling his spin, 4 overs, none for 20, right?
Yep.
Very economical. Isan Khan, 4 overs, none for 19. Ronnie Kapoor's sitting on the bench, right? Nazrullah, I'm not sure what this innovative tactics is with Nazrullah. Some games he doesn't even bowl. This game he bowled 1 over. He comes on and bowls the last over, the final over. I don't. There's obviously method in it, but I don't understand it.
Method in the madness.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Well, we did see on the broadcast that there's the new bowling coach just in for this tournament, Yasser Arafat, the Pakistani legend. So maybe this was some of his doing. I don't know, but yeah, you're right. I'm not sure what Nazrullah's role was in that team.
Well, he was in some 11s and didn't bowl at all. Yeah. And then in a couple of games came on to bowl the last over. It seemed to be quite a spin-friendly wicket, or anyway, it was economical bowling.
Well, I think once we were halfway through our batting innings and the Hong Kong-China side was sitting there watching what was happening, they would have been ruining the fact that Kapoor wasn't in the side, because he might have been that element that might have been able to keep the runs down. But in the end, it was very close. Oman went through to the final, and Hong Kong had to play a very nervous 3rd versus 4th to make that final spot to the emerging cup.
Well, yeah, and they're up against Nepal, right, who we haven't had a lot of joy against Nepal in recent times at all, and Nepal went out and batted first, and they finished. We held them to 139.
Oh, and should have held them to much less than that as well.
It should have been. They were 8 for 98, and we let it get away from us. Dipendra Singh, I mean, he's unbelievable. I mean, during the tournament, he hit 6 sixes in an over in one game. I mean, unbelievable.
But a bit much like the Hong Kong-China side, perhaps with Baba or Nazakat, who scored runs, there was a problem with Nepal's batting, is that they had to constantly rely on Irie to do the job for them, and that ultimately made them come undone.
Yeah, well, to be honest, we're not here to talk about Nepal, but I was very surprised with their batting lineup. I had no idea what they were doing. The Sompal Kami was put up to 3, and Jora was there, and then Dipendra Singh Ari came in right down the order, but he did a great job. 44 off 29, got them to something they could possibly defend, which was 139, and for a while they did look like defending it. And if it wasn't for Anshuman Rath, they would have. Anshi was unbelievable, 65 or 50. He was due and he came good at the right
time. I'm sure he would personally admit he had a horror tournament. It wasn't great for him with the bat. And then when it mattered, boom, that's all you need. You need a player that can stand up. We had Bubba do it earlier against Malaysia to make sure we could get through to these finals, smashing those 83 off 14 balls. I'm not just making that up. Yeah, it was ridiculous. And then Ant standing up and getting us over the line, getting the runs again. Yeah. Another thriller in the final over. I need like sort of heart blood medicine or something.
It was unbelievable. But they got across the line and puts them in the Emerging Cup. They finished 3rd in Nepal. Yeah, big disappointment for them. They're out. Who cares? I just want to call out another couple of players, Buschy.
Yes.
Just on some performances during the tournament. Azaz Khan, at times, was brilliant. Okay. With the bat and with the ball, okay? At times, not so great, but he really did stand up in a couple of those matches and got us across the line.
On the podcast where you were AWOL and I had a chat to Simon Willis, head coach of Hong Kong China, he said one of the things they were focused on in that UAE warm-up tournament was extras. Oh. And we all know that Azaz Khan, for all his brilliance, can bleed a lot of extras, whether it's wides, bowling around the crease, or overstepping, especially. And he completely dried that up. It was amazing.
But he bowled, was it to a left-hander? I can't remember which game it was. It might have been the Nepal game. He bowled an unplayable delivery from around the wicket to the left-hander. It was just superb. And, yeah, with bat and ball, he was great at times. Adik Gorawara didn't play basically all tournament. He scored 9 off 7 in that game against Nepal that put us through to 3rd. Don't underestimate how important that was.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, because otherwise, if they were dots,
Yeah.
Nepal was going to win this.
Absolutely. And he went out there with Anchi and the pressure was on. Yes, he did get out and Najrullah had to come and finish it off. But it was a really nice little 7-ball thing that really did help us. If he got out early, we're in big trouble.
And you speak of that Najrullah knock at the end. I mean, the cricket gods were shining on Hong Kong, China.
Oh, yeah.
Because that could have easily landed in some people's hands. But it went into the Bermuda Triangle of death, falling between players. We get 2 runs and we win. Now, talking about players, I want to touch on one. We kind of touched on it last week, but Ayush Shukla.
Unbelievable.
Best spell in a tournament I've ever seen him bowl. Yeah, there was complaints online about how he lost the game against Oman, going for 10 off 2 balls. That can happen to anyone when you don't put enough runs on the board to defend. But the last 3 games he played, he took a wicket in his first over. 1, 2, 3, and a couple of them were first balls.
Yeah, 2 of them were off the very first delivery. The third was off the second delivery. He just improved out of sight. He didn't play the first game. I don't know why. I assume he might have been one of the ones who was ill or a bit injured. But when he came back, he just continually got better throughout the tournament. He was tremendous. He really was. As you say, couple of spells, best spells I've seen him bowl. He's such a young man. He's such a great bowler. So much upside still. It's great for cricket in Hong Kong.
Those last 3 games, he took 3 for 24 against Malaysia. He took 1 for 43 against Oman, which should have been 3 for, I think, on drop catches. And then 3 for 17 to destroy Nepal. I mean, the game was over basically in Ayush's spell. He didn't even bowl 4 overs that game.
Yeah, I know. I think, Nazrullah come back and bowled the last one again, did he?
He bowled the second last, I think. But anyway, they still had more overs. So this whole bowling lineup is working well for Hong Kong, China. I don't understand it, but whatever they're doing, I like.
Yeah.
The batting, on the other hand, was brittle. Even though Nazaka got a ton of runs. I think he's in the top 3 for the tournament. Bubba, huge innings, but just couldn't at times put the runs on the board required.
Yeah, I think, again, haven't spoken to anybody, but Martin Kutsia didn't really score any runs, but I think there might be some reasoning about that, about injuries.
Oh, he was broken.
He was cooked by the look of it. I think it was groin, but...
Yeah, I'm surprised he played, what was the game, the Thursday game, whichever one that was. It might have been the semi-final, was it?
Yeah. Well, he was hobbling around, right?
Oh, yeah, he couldn't run, couldn't walk. And
so
everything he did was making the injury worse.
So then I was surprised he was in the team, but then I look at the squad, who else did you put in? So anyway, I'll cut him a stack of slack on that. As you say, there wasn't enough consistency with the bat. Nazaka was good most of the way through. Bubba was brilliant at times. Azaz Khan, brilliant at times as well, coming in further down the order. It needs some more stability somehow. I'll mention another name. Akbar Khan.
Yep, we've mentioned numerous times.
Leading run scorer, Premier League Player of the Year last year. Leading run scorer in the T20s this year.
He went to Hangzhou and didn't score, so then he's had his chance. I don't think that's fair. One venue, one type of wicket, and didn't score. Then he comes back and does the domestic league and is just smashing it. I mean, imagine having him just solidifying that top 6.
Yeah.
When you know, okay, we've got a good platform. We got some really good platforms, 1 for 35, 2 for 70, and then all out for 130, 140. If he can come in and smash a 50, boom.
Yeah, or even 30 off 15, right?
Yep.
Invaluable. Play that, Tim David sort of knock, or he can hold an innings together, as we know. Anyway, I think Akbar Khan's going to get his chance at some point in the not-too-distant future because he's just been scoring runs for fun.
I got one more point as well I wanted to bring up about the tournament while I've given the bowling attack absolute brilliance. It was a great wrap, okay? We did not bowl out a side the entire tournament. That's one of the things. We had teams absolutely on their knees and then let them just get to the end.
I mentioned what we had Nepal 8 for 98. Yeah. They ended up with just under 140.
The Oman semi-final, we had them 65 for 4. That's got rid of their top order, and then they only lost one more wicket to get enough runs to win. So,
yeah, but putting the positive slant on that, Buschy, in a way that's good, right? Because we have still got through to the Emerging Cup.
Yep.
We've got cricket in front of us. There's improvement areas there. I just hope that the squad have a killer approach to winning, which I think they're getting. I'm starting to see more of that now as a supporter. Maybe I wasn't seeing it early on. I think that Saudi Arabia loss was a disgrace, okay? Probably didn't see it there. I'll tell you one other thing. There was a social media post that really upset me. It was from Cricket Hong Kong, actually, Cricket Hong Kong, where after the Saudi Arabia loss, the post on Twitter was something like, "Oh, unlucky boys, you tried your best. We lost to Saudi Arabia." Okay, that's not the post. Now, what worried me is that's the attitude that goes through the whole organisation, right? We're never going to win, right? Hopefully it's a one-off by someone who typed the wrong thing.
Look, it's social media. You don't beat yourself up, okay? I understand that you feeling they should have gone for the throat, but that's our job. But the social media of Hong Kong, Cricket Hong Kong China isn't to go, "Oh, guys, you were crap."
Well, no, you're better off saying nothing than...
We have to put the result up.
Well, that's it. That's what I mean. Say nothing. Don't put any comment on it.
Okay.
There was comment around an opinion that Cricket Hong Kong, in support of their boys, said, "Hard luck, boys. You'll bounce back." Well, no. We lost to Saudi Arabia.
We did bounce back.
Yeah, we lost to Saudi Arabia.
The post was exactly 100% correct. We will bounce back. We did, and we made the finals.
I don't even think it said we will bounce back. I think it was tough luck or some bollocks. Anyway, we move on.
Yep.
Looking forward,
yes.
Merchant Cup's going to be November, December in Sri Lanka,
yeah.
I understand.
Are we going?
Well, I'd love to.
Yeah.
I'd love to.
Yep.
Who knows? Watch this space. ICC Challenge League is also coming up. The 50 overs, the World Cup qualifiers for 2027. I'm not sure when that gets underway. The first one's got to be during this year.
It is this year.
Yeah.
That's all that the ICC is saying. Is just like the round robin series starts this year.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
no venues, no places, whatever.
So the T20,
they can come here. I'll happily compensate that.
I understand that the ICC T20 Asia qualifiers are on in August this year, is what I understand. So whether it works around that, the first one or not, but I just want to touch on the draw that we've got.
Yes.
So there's 12 teams in the Challenge League, 2 pools. The top 2 in each pool go through to the next stage. We have drawn Bahrain, Italy, Singapore, Tanzania, and Uganda. The other pool is Denmark, Jersey, Kenya, Kuwait, PNG, Qatar. That draw could not be kinder to us.
No, I agree. It's almost, look, I don't want to jinx it, but it's almost not worth playing that round robin series because... hang
on, slow down a little bit.
We're going to make the top 2 of that. If we don't, I mean, everybody should pack up and go play lawn bowls.
I do agree with that
yes.
part of it. I mean, there are some tough games.
Tanzania and Uganda are going to be a challenge.
But I'd be more worried about them on a T20 day where they have a day out. Over 50 overs, we should be winning that. Italy can win on their day. Singapore are not what they were. Bahrain, they're improving, we know that. But we've got no Jersey, no Kenya, no Kuwait, no PNG, no Denmark, and you saw how much Qatar are improving recently. They nearly made it through the ACC Premier Cup semi-final. So the draw has been enormously favourable to us, which is wonderful looking forward the next 3 years.
And Simon also said the team that's sort of set up at the moment is a better 50-over format team than it is T20.
Oh, he's right.
Made it through. So
there's no doubt he's right about that.
Yep. So going forward, get our World Cup 2027 campaign underway and get it underway well. As soon as we find out where these games are going to be played, we'll post it
Absolutely.
here.
Not only just extending on Simon's comment, I don't know if he was meaning this or not, but I would also argue that when we're playing 50-over cricket, the pot of players that we could pick from is deeper as well. There's more stronger 50-over players in Hong Kong than there is T20s. Not just the current 11 or 14. I could throw probably brings another 6, 7 or 8 players into the mix in a 50-over format, which over that time you're going to need because, let's be frank, the squad itself is not getting any younger.
Well, I want to mention the fact that had Nepal beaten us in that 3rd versus 4th playoff, I would be going on a rant right now about gutting the T20 side for Hong Kong China. Youth, just full of youth, and get them getting games in the T20 format. You've got your 50-over side with the older players. I mean, there's more than half the side is over the age of 30. Yep, you can still play well into your late 30s.
Yeah, we've got plenty over 35 as well.
Yes, that's right? Exactly. So, but there's only a few. You got Ayush, you got Nasrullah coming through with the bat. We don't have any youngsters in the side apart from Ange, who's 26, I think now.
Yeah, and you've got Shiv, who's very young, coming up.
Well, he's going to come
through.
through.
He's going to play a big part. But later,
he's already been designated. He's the youngster coming through.
100%.
We need more.
Yeah, so absolutely right.
So we need to mix that up. Well, no, I reckon the T20 side's the place to be doing it. We've got our super strong 50-over side. We're going to go into this. We're going to smash it. And we're going to move on to the next stage. And then you've got the T20s where, I mean, if it's against sort of same-ranked or lower-ranked teams, youth that side up. Get it in there. Get it 70%, 60% under the age of 28.
Well, going to without getting ahead of myself or ahead of ourselves, that emerging cup in November, December, as a supporter, I would be disappointed if the same 14 players went to that as qualified as went to Oman recently, because that would seem a wonderful opportunity with really there's nothing on the line except experience, right?
Okay.
There's no ranking points to it because you're playing the A teams. That's a good opportunity to blood a few of the younger ones.
I'm with you on that one for sure.
I'm not saying totally overhaul the team.
Yeah.
You need the older statesmen there as well.
We're not putting the All-Stars Juniors under-16 side out there.
Correct.
But some of those could feature.
When you say an injection of youth, that would seem like a lovely opportunity to have a crack at that.
I'm with you on that one.
All right. This has gone on nicely, this Sky Plaza Road. I think we'll wrap it up. Buschy, anything else you want to cover? Because my favourite segment is coming up next. And now it's time for Buschy's birthday bonanza. Everyone, buckle up. It's Buschy's birthday bonanza.
Oh, you're back live in Hong Kong, ready for the bonanza this week.
Love a birthday.
We've got 3 this week.
Lovely.
Yep. Starting off on the 27th of April. I couldn't possibly tell you what date that is.
That's the weekend.
It is. Today's the 24th on a Wednesday. Is it Saturday?
Saturday, yeah.
Okay. Having a birthday from the Cricket Hong Kong Dragons, Vans Chan.
All right.
Love Vans. He also helps us out on broadcast. He's a camera operator at times, but he's a better cricketer than he is a camera operator. And that's saying something because he's a very good camera operator.
One of the best names in cricket in Hong Kong, Vans.
Yeah, I hope
Vans.
Hope he wears the Vans shoes.
Oh, I love the name.
He will be turning 38.
Happy birthday, Vans.
On the 30th, there's 2 birthdays on the 30th. Turning 23, Vikas Sharma from KCC. He is celebrating a birthday April 30.
Vicky, happy birthday, Vic.
And one of our former podcast guests is having a birthday turning, how old is he turning? 31.
Same day.
Same day from the Cricket Hong Kong Dragons. Can you guess who it is?
Cricket Hong Kong Dragons. Jason Loy.
Yes, Jason's
beautiful.
having a birthday on April 30th as well. So there we have Vans, Vikas and Jason. Happy birthday to you 3 this week from the 8 for 52 podcast.
Hi, I'm Anshuman Rath and you're listening to the 8 for 52 podcast with Bodders and Buschy.
Well, the birthdays are done. The episode is done. We're winding up. What are we up to? Episode 31, is it?
31, it is indeed, yeah.
Blimey.
Odd number, 31.
Been a long season for the players and also for the podcast.
We need to sit down and figure out actually how many we've got left because we've got Premier League Grand Final coming up, Saturday and Sundays. We might have no cricket there for a window, although there's All-Stars as well. So we're going to have to figure out when we wrap this thing up for 2024.
Sometime in June is my expectation.
It's a long time away.
Yeah, it is. That's not that far away because the season starts like two months later.
Yeah,
so,
that's right.
We'll have a quick break and season 2 will be on our hands. So we'll get through another over at least, I reckon.
Yeah, 31 was a good episode, Buschy.
Yes, we had a good chat in that Sky Plaza Road. Just going through the ideas and the thoughts of what could go forward for the Hong Kong China side. Plus, obviously, congratulations making the Emerging Cup.
Yeah, absolutely.
Got the 50 over coming up.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. The Challenge League's going to be awesome. I really love that tournament. I mean, I wish we were in the level above, of course, but we're not. We couldn't grasp our spot in that last time round, but this time I think we're a big chance of finishing in that top 2 and going through, which will give us a lot more cricket over the course of the next few years, which is awesome.
Speaking of top 2, this weekend Premier League returns and pretty much every game is going to decide who makes the top 2 and who makes the final coming up May 5th.
Yeah, it's game on, isn't it, in the Premier League? It really is. We've just got to pray the weather gods look after us. We really do. It doesn't look good at the moment, but let's just, fingers crossed, we get on because there's massive games in both men's and women's.
As you were saying, the side over at United Services Recreation Club who have played out will be sitting there with every rain god.
Doing the rain dance.
Totem and everything, trying to get the rain on Sunday.
Absolutely, and they will indeed. We've got Saturday, what is it? Sunday Elite T20. There's one match in that as well, and a stack of Saturday Cup games wrapping up their preliminary rounds in that tournament. So there's plenty going on cricket locally. Just keep getting excited about the internationals, Buschy.
Yeah.
Looking forward.
Well, you're looking forward to being international because you're again buggering off and leaving me to do the podcast by myself.
Well, I've got a bit of travel I'm on at the moment. I'm going to be away for the next 2 podcasts.
Yeah, and we're hoping there's going to be a big announcement coming up in maybe next week or the week after. We'll figure that out. You won't be here. I'll be doing everything like usual. It'll be fine.
Fingers crossed on that one. It's if it comes off, goodness me. There's so many exciting things around cricket in Hong Kong at the moment. It is really exciting. It's a great time. It's a great time to be alive, Buschy.
Yeah, fantastic. Watch this space for big announcements. It is the 8 for 52 podcast. Butters, are we done?
Mate, we are done for 31.
See ya.
Hello, good morning. We're tossing a
The 8 for 52 theme song is The Coin Toss from the band The Duckworth-Lewis Method. Find them on Apple iTunes and YouTube and download that song and all their other cricket-related music.
The 8 for 52 podcast is written, produced and published by Matt Botfield and Aaron Bush for Trip Ahead Limited. Copyright 2024.
I think I'll go in for a bat, and that's that.